Suicide Squad. So, Stuart, are you ready to go ahead and dive into this article with me?
Yes, I am.
Let's go ahead and deep dive into this. Again, this is from Empire Magazine, guys. It says James Gunn on how it relates to David Ayer's film and why it's different from Guardians. And we got some exclusive images here, too. We get to see Polka Dot Man. You've got the Peacemaker here. I think this is Bloodsport, if I'm not mistaken, played by Idris Elba. I cannot remember the lady here though, and who she's playing.
Catcher, I think.
Okay, all right, perfect. So I have a brand new exclusive image from Empire there. I think the costumes look incredible. So let's go ahead and talk. I'm just going to highlight some of the things that were talked about in this article about James Gunn, but it says it's not necessarily a continuation of David Ayer's film, but not exactly a reboot either. There are several returning characters, including Harley Quinn, Rick Flag, Amanda Waller, Captain Boomerang. What exactly is the Suicide Squad? And this is what Gunn says. He says, it's its own thing. It does not contradict the first movie, I don't think. It might in some small ways. I don't know. He says, for all that, Ayer's film is not considered a narrative success. Gunn has plenty of praise of the original squad his predecessor assembled, so much so that he brought plenty of them back. He said, listen, David Ayer's got in trouble for the movie. I know it didn't come out how David wanted it to come out, but he did one really, really great thing, and that is he picked up fantastic actors to work with, and he dealt with these actors in building their characters in a really deep and fearless way. It's something David definitely deserves to be lauded for, and it definitely added to this movie. So real quick, just off of that alone, Stuart, I do want to say, first off, I love that James Gunn is so supportive of other artists. I feel like some people could be complete dicks to one another if they wanted to, but the fact that he already knows that David Ayer is already taken shit from the fans and from people in regards to maybe the first Suicide Squad, that he's not going to crap on David Ayer even more. If anything, he kind of really turns it around to kind of praise him for what he did. And I got to be honest, like, while I'm not the biggest fan of the first Suicide Squad film, I really did like some of the characters, though. Like, I really enjoyed the Harley Quinn stuff. Deadshot, to me, I thought Will Smith did a great job as Deathshot. I really enjoyed, especially if you watch the extended look at Suicide Squad. I love what he did with the relationship between the Joker and Margot Robbie and things like that as Harley Quinn. So there are some really great elements behind these characters. Amanda Waller, my goodness. I mean, so I love the fact that James Gunn really sort of, I don't want to say handpicked, but really picked some of these characters to come back and really build off of them. So what are your thoughts in regards to what he had to say about David Ayer's film, though, Stuart?
Yeah, I definitely think it's cool that he wasn't trash talking David Ayer, the dude who's, he's making the sequel for. So I like that. And I like how he made it clear that he's not contradicting the first one. So the first one is still like going to be canon going into this. Cause I know that was like the big thing. A lot of fans were kind of speculating is, oh yeah, James Gunn is going to just ignore the first one and to do his own thing. I'm glad that he makes it very clear that that's not the case.
You know what I will say, Stuart? I love that he brings up the fact that these aren't good guys. These are bad people. And I think one of the things that not was necessarily missing from the David Ayer film, but outside of that whole entire squad, one person died, right? Like, was it Slipknot, the guy that tried to like escape or something like that briefly before they got into the city? And
yeah.
one
dude whose backstory we never
even got, like, he's the only person that died, right? And so while we can clearly see that not everybody of this team gets along, they eventually do get along, right? And they sort of form this team and help each other to combat the villain, right? There's not that element of, I mean, there is that element of I don't trust you, you don't trust me sort of thing, but it feels like in this movie, they're actually going to do something about it, and they're going to be vocal and in your face about it. And I love the fact that he's talking about it this way, because it doesn't seem like anybody's backing down, and people really are going to die. So I don't think we should get comfortable with some of these characters. What do you think, Stuart?
Fully agree, especially because that was like kind of the first thing he teased about the movie when he released the cast list. Before he even said who they were playing, all he said is don't get attached.